The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman here. This is the Tiger Finance. This is the opening call. No, it's one of those days where I was doing so many different things. This is the Tiger Technicians Hour. My service is the opening call, and this is the 10 o'clock period where from 10 to 11 I do the Tiger Technicians Hour. The Dow's down 90. Well, one of the reasons I think is WBA, which is Walgreens, is down 3.7%, down 84 cents at 21.48. Why? Because I think it's next week. Not NVIDIA. I did that by mistake. It's AMZN. Amazon is going to join the Dow. Now, it's so fascinating having watched the Dow, having actually hand charted the Dow from what was the book? The book took us back to 1920. There was a book on the Dow closing price. And I notated by hand. And of course, we've got computers, so you've got everything on the computer. But I've been following this for ages, and it's just so fascinating. If you look at the history of the Dow, now I believe the Dow is still owned by the Dow family, so they have a great say in what comes in and what goes out. But it's so fascinating how so often, just as something is making some kind of a top, it gets included in the Dow, and that's Amazon. And I can't say it's making the top, but I am going to say that Amazon right now, if you look at it, had a 175 round number just before. Let me just show you this right here. Amazon trading at 175.39 on the 12th of February. And the day before. Yes, the day before it has a 175.00 round number. All-time high was back in July of 2021 at 188.65, dropped 100 points down to 81. And that was I think it was maybe January of 2023. So this is a fantastic move for a year, going up to a leg C in the monthly chart. But on a very short-term basis, it's a peak D probably this week. In the daily chart, well, we've still got a couple of sessions to go. So I should say it could be a peak D because the high of 175, I should type that in, 175.39 was the high, and 39 cents below that is the round number, 175.39. So it could have a little bit of a digestive phase here. And the funny thing is, I think Walgreens, WBA, is not making a low or the low, but it's attempting to form some kind of a base from which it could rally. So I wouldn't be surprised if in 3 months' time, Walgreens Boots Alliance Inc., this is drugstores, is actually doing quite nicely. And it's instead of being in the 18s, it's at 21.43 right now, it's closer to the 26 to 28 area. Anyway, that's just an aside. So let's just go to the story. And the story says, I had a buy right here. Oh, man. I had to buy. I put a very type of 1 point stop in here for the E-mini, and then it just took off. Boom. All right. Well, that's the way life goes. Timing is everything. Right. Let's just go to this right now. WBA. Let's go. Right. There we go. I'll talk about round numbers. I'm getting a little tired of talking about round numbers, but as long as they're there, and I have to mention them because that's one of the techniques I developed years ago. Probably have to call it the round number reversals. It's not always the case, but a lot of the time it's the case. All right, here we go. Dow's down 53, coming back quite nicely at 38,511. The 9-period moving average, you can see right here, is still positive. So that just says there's residual strength. It's not weakness right now that we're looking at. We're looking at little flows of strength that keep coming in to keep the Dow in this rectangle formation, having broken the low just by a fraction, broken the high by a fraction. It's still stuck in the middle of the range. And I'm just going to say at any point in the next week, if the Dow closes under this key support of 38,200 to 38,000, we've started a pretty decent digestive phase. That's all I can say. At this point, it's still rolling over. It hasn't really committed either way. S&P, something slightly different here. Why? Because there's this H pattern, and it's trading down just 8.5 points at 49.67. In this particular instance, if the S&P, and let's see, I have to check. I think the end of the month is a week from today. No way. God, that went quickly. Yeah, a week from today, the 29th. They slapped in an extra day because they just wanted to make sure that we got our full quota for the year, February. Now look at this. Let's make it as simple as possible. There's this gap right there on the 2nd of February. The low is 49.07. Wow, that's 60 points away. But I'm just going to say that if the S&P closes any day in the next week, I'm going to give it a week and a half. Going into the beginning of March, if it closes under 40, I can even say 40, 49.20. I wouldn't be surprised if 49.22, if it closes under 49.22, it'll take that left side low out. And on the upside, 5,040. If it gets to 5,040, that is fabulous action. It means that this weekly chart, and the same thing in the Dow, and I had a question about where would you add to the Dow long position. We actually also have a trading short position, but where would you actually push the... I have to wait. I can't even say right now. I can give you clues, but the clues are useless. At this particular point, I'm not adding to the long side yet. I need a little time. I want to see how we digest at this particular point after such a fantastic couple of months to the upside. So, and I can just say 4,880 in the S&P is the 880s is the 9-period exponential moving average. It hasn't even come back to touch it since it broke to the upside back in the week of the 17th of November. I'm not very, very negative. We're mostly long, and at the same time, not only being mostly long, I am looking at trading the short side. Yes, we might be looking at some aggressive trades to the downside, but they're small positions and they're only trading positions. And I've recommended to my subscribers, only those of you who already feel strongly that you want to be trading, that's what you can do. Mostly we want to be building long positions for 2024 because so far there are areas that are extremely overbought. And when they come down, there are other areas that are really, I think they are prepared and ready to take up the slack. Let's go back to our markets, the daily chart on the left, weekly chart in the middle, monthly chart on the right. Only a peak B if there's no new high this week in the S&P. That means we still have to go to C and D on the upside. It is in a leg D already in the weekly chart, but that doesn't mean you say, oh my God, you're at D. It just says, yep, you're at D, just be a little careful. Now let's go to the QQQ. And this is the one that might become more vulnerable. At this particular point, it's gone. It's almost done a one-to-one to the downside. It's down 260 at 424.70. So I'm watching this closely. The weekly chart is only going to be making a peak C if there's no new high this week. I'm still to go to D at this is the IWM. Just as I'm about to take a break, and the IWM is down at 197. I'll be right back. Basil Chapman, Dow's down 55.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly Gold Report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
So from the 1 minute chart of the E-mini, you can see breaking out peak D. It's got this rectangle formation, only a peak C in the 5 minute and only a peak B. Leg B in the 10 minute. I think there's enough buying just to kind of tootle around here. Everybody's waiting for NVIDIA. Now let's just go on. I wanted to show you, this is really important. You've got gold up a little. It's up about a point. It's trying to establish some kind of a bottom here that could be a tradable balance. Look, it's above the 200-period moving average, that magnet line right there. But I don't see from the weekly chart, unless it starts to trade in the 2100s by the first week of March, I think it's still kind of stuck here. If you look at silver, and they've really been diverging. They have two different chart patterns. Look, silver has a slightly better daily chart, but it's not breaking out. That 200-period moving average of 23.67 in the continuous contract is a repellent. It's at 23.03 right now. Same thing in the weekly chart, monthly chart, really, for the first time. It's flipped in February. We've got to wait for the end, a whole week to go. But right now, it's got an S, meaning the 9-period moving average has actually gone negative, but only slightly negative. So nothing to see here. Let's look at high-grade copper. High-grade copper, another nice move. So this is going to be, I like to monitor this, and just in terms of kind of overall economic aspect, copper is an international economic barometer in many ways. It's still down at the lower end of the rung, but look at this. It's had a move from the 3.66 area. Right now it's trading at 3.89, up 0.02. This is very nice action in the daily, but the weekly chart says, it's been here before. It's just in this rectangle. That 200-period moving average could become a magnet again at 3.84. It's trading at 3.89. And the monthly chart says, not much going on here. Wait a minute. Let's just look at the bonds. So you go to the TLT, the TLT is down at the lower end. So the TBT, which is the opposite, meaning this is like the yields, is up at, I didn't finish typing that in. So I have to, at this point, I'm calling this an A, and I'm calling this, it could be E/B. I'm calling it a B just for the moment. Give it a chance right now, because everything is positive. The 9's over the 14 is pushing away from the 200. MACD's good, stochastics at 90%. But that on-balance volume is so weak, says not everything's in sync. So let's just go to the weekly chart, leg A. It's in peak A, now it's in leg B. So this is basically the yields, and talk about the yields, TNX. Here we go, TNX on X. Whoa, don't type it there. Type it here. There we go. TNX.X, and we've got the yields. Also, this is already extended in leg C in the weekly chart, and it's a D/B. I really think I got to keep this going the way it is alphabetically in the Chapman wave. Just higher highs get alphabetized sequentially. That's a B, uppercase, and that's a C. So the yields are still going higher, not that much higher, but they are going higher. There's the 10-year T-note yield. There's this. I drew this in ages ago to say we've been in this basically in a rectangle formation, trading between these boundaries. Every once in a while we go below or we go above, and now we're above this orange line, which is at about 35 point. Let's call it 36 for now, and that's basically 3.6%. But now let's look at this, and it's trying to bounce, and the 9-period moving average in the monthly chart of the TNX is still very strong. So I don't think you can rule out the fact that yields could be pushing even higher. All right, I want to finish this up with the crude oil. Crude oil right here. Now, I want to just talk about this. So crude oil stuck at the 200-period exponential moving average. It's up to 20 cents at 77.24. But you remember I drew this in, and we discussed this, and I said, let's see if this is going to be the one-to-one that I've drawn in, and this is the natural gas. And what I had said is I'm taking this, it's a little unconventional, at least for me. There are other ways to do this, but for me, I use the one-to-one. I use it as a visual impression. So what my eye picks up immediately, I didn't go to this high back in October, the high that was made up in the 350s. I went to the one that was a little lower, 340s, and I drew the line and I said, in the Chapman wave methodology, there's a technique that I use, and I said, I'm not going to draw this in because it gets too messy, but I'm going to draw it in right now, where it's a Chapman wave falling axe formation, where you see this expanding pattern right here, which becomes an arch formation. And I developed this a long time ago. In here at TFNN, almost all the hosts use a particular pattern called the it's like the lightning bolt, A to B. The points of A to B, that is the number of points that it moves in any direction, with a bounce can give you an A to B equals the same equidistant pattern C to D. I use it a little differently in that it's a technique that I've developed which says not only do you want to do that, but you want to go in the same direction at the same angle. It's so important because that says, I look at the number of bars, left side, right side, price, time match, bar symmetry, it's called, using a plumb line. I use all sorts of techniques. This particular technique says you want to be at the same angle. If you get that same angle, when it concludes, if it concludes exactly, and I have to tell you, it doesn't always conclude exactly, but I know Larry does this all the time, and the way he measures it, the pattern that he looks at is a very, very precise one. For some reason, when I do it, I don't get it quite as precise, but when it is, it says, look, that blue line stopped exactly at the low yesterday, and I was going to discuss it, and I thought, no, don't jump the gun. Let's just wait for the next day to see what happens. Well, we got a good rally attempt yesterday in natural gas. You got a good rally attempt today, but the distance in natural gas from the low of yesterday of 1.522 to today's high of 1.792, that's one of the biggest distances on the upside we've had since the last bounce, which looked like it was going to be a decent bounce, and that was back in January the 22nd. The difference here, the histogram on the natural gas has been moving up. Not great, but it's moving up. It hasn't crossed positively. Therefore, the MACD is starting to improve. The 9-period differentials just about to go over the red slow-moving average. And this is the thing that bugs me, that the on-balance volume is flat. But worse is that the stochastic is at 8% and flat. You know how I love when the stochastic's up in the 95 or 97% and flat, and I say, wow, if you're along, that's what you want to see, and you want it to stay there, because at some point it's going to go from the 90s to the 20s or even the teens on the way down. And that's what you love to see. And so many of these stocks, and I'm going to go through it in a moment, have done that. All right. So this is the first bounce attempt. And I believe, in the weekly chart, you can see there's a nice candle. But it's only an attempt. With the stochastic at 8%, it says, wow. Because look what happened when the stochastic was flat before. It took a long time for the stochastic to get from the teens to the 20%. And once it got to 20%, that's when you got your fabulous move to deep in the natural gas. This is the start. It's something to monitor, but I'm not going to take it so seriously and say this is the beginning of a major move in natural gas. It's just the start of something. I'll be back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kakestat's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kakestat breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey. Because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Hi, folks. So a question came up about hack. So hack is the prime cyber security ETF security stock. Here on the left is the daily chart, trough A, and it's got a leg B to the downside today. It's down a little bit. It's down 5.5%, down 3.55 at 50.89. But this is a conglomerate. In other words, this is made up of, it's an ETF of the cyber stocks. So what are we looking at? We're looking at Palo Alto, PANW, Palo Alto Networks. It had a 380.88 high. It had no round numbers, but all of a sudden, the low of going to the upside, but all of a sudden on, that's right. So it has, I didn't mean to say it had round numbers. On the day that it made the high, it had a 369 round number low and a 380.88 high. So that means I didn't even notate that. Did I notate that? Let me just check. Did I put that in? I'm trying to just put them in. Yeah, 369. Oh, that's where it is. Okay. So it had a 369. So over the period of about 2-3 weeks, it's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's actually had more, but I haven't written all of them in. About 5 round number highs, starting at 346, going all the way to 369. Makes it 380, 369. I put it 269 there. It should have been 369. It goes to 380.88 all-time high. And then it comes out with earnings yesterday, and I guess they were not that good because it's only down 26% right now, down 97 points at 268. Where is it stopped? Right on the 200-period moving average. I don't know. All I can say is it was looking fabulous. I've been grumbling to subscribers that we didn't get into hack. We've been periodically we've gone into that and bots via the robotics ETF. We're in the AI ETF, but this one in this last move up, it was just so quick. We didn't get in, and look what happened. This is a fantastic company. And if you listen to the CEO every time he's on, he's got these extremely positive things to say, and for great reasons, because it was. And then all of a sudden, look at this mistake. He's taken out, you have to go back to November. That's where we were trading at this level. I mean, around about November 25th, 26th. This is something that, and that's what I'm saying to subscribers. We're in a period fraught with merciless, they make a mistake, and it is ruthless to the downside, but it's also ruthless to the upside, and we've seen that in some of these stocks. What's going to happen today in NVIDIA? Let's just go through this slowly. So here's hack. It grabs everything. The whole crowd comes down. Talking about crowd, CRWD. This is CrowdStrike Holdings, cybersecurity, makes a peak E. Had a couple of round numbers, 330, 305, 302. It's trading right now at 289, down 34. Not as bad as Palo Alto Networks, but it was a peak E in the daily chart. It's a peak D now. I can't see it going back to 338.45 in the next few days. So it's a peak D in the weekly chart. But this is one of those that I've said I don't know how to count it. So when I see this number of almost parallel highs, one of them I take as a phantom peak. I just do that because I like to be ahead of the game to get to a D. And I say, okay, there has to be one of these, but even if it was a fraction, it didn't pull back, but I'm going to treat it as a peak A. So this is either an E or a B in the monthly chart. Well, we don't have to look at this and say, okay, I'm going to trade off the monthly chart yet, because obviously the daily chart comes first, and then the weekly chart becomes second. And the weekly chart in CrowdStrike is still very strong, okay? So I wanted to say that what we're looking at now, let's go to the SMHs because this is all related in the tech area. SMH is trading down a little bit right now. It's not a big deal, but it's trading down 2.57. Had an all-time high of 207.12 just the other day. This is the dreaded H. What is the dreaded H in the Chapman methodology? There's a technique that I developed years ago. where if you see a price move at a high, usually it's at a high, a D, E, or F, and pull back sharply. So there are three patterns I look at: straight line up, straight line down, that's one; cup formation, that's two; arch formation, that's three; or a combination. So this is 1 and 3. Come down sharply, rally, fail at a peak A or a B, and then take out the left side low. You've got to be so careful on that. Why? Because you can have a 1-to-1 of the down move, first down move, and then the arch high to the next thing, and you've almost done that already in SMHs. So I'm saying to myself, the 9 is over the 14. That's fantastic. The MACD's just turned negative over the last 2 days. The stochastic's been coming down since the high was made at 207.14. Now let me go to this chart here, because I use this and I've had webinars on this, and I'm going to discuss it right now because I'm thinking like it's getting time for a webinar. This high that was made right here in the unbalanced volume, look at that. It coincides. I've got to move it over just a fraction. There it is. It coincides with the exact high. So if that's the case, then what we're looking at is monitor this closely, because it could be just a little pullback or it could be a major pullback. We don't know. But this says now you've got to be careful. That pink line after the high has been made with the unbalanced volume, that is the 9-period moving average, and it hasn't turned negative yet. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, how will this unfold when you've got NVIDIA also making its high about a week and a half ago at 746.11, whole bunch of round numbers. No round number today, have I seen? Nope. Open at 680.05. But you've got a bunch. Even yesterday, there was the day before. 741 was the open the day before. And we're trading at 680 right now. So I'm just saying, I'm looking at these round numbers, and my theory of round number reversals is in place, but it doesn't say, oh, major crash. It just says, some people are so desperate to get in. Of course, there's always a seller for every buyer or a buyer for every seller, that they're just hitting those round numbers over and over and over. And talk about round numbers. Look at this SMCI. And I've been speaking about this for over a week. Had a 1,077.87 high on Monday. On Tuesday, and then it reversed very sharply. So yesterday, I remember we had a caller, Garo had got in at 8:20, I think he got in on the short side. Fabulous move. It was 8, sorry, did I get that wrong? 8:02. 8:02 was the high. And it had at that time, it also had a round number open. So it had a 790 round open, an 8:02 high, and it closed down at 787, and today is trading at 761. I mean, this is quite a move down. That's why you have to take profits when you're having very good success. I'll be back. Dow's done.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
Are you ready to take your trading to the next level? Introducing Tom O'Brien's award-winning newsletter, Market Insights, your key to successful active trading. Tom O'Brien, renowned for his expertise in the financial markets, has designed Market Insights to be your daily guide to profitable trades. Tom publishes his daily Market Insights newsletter every market day before the market open, along with updates when warranted. Stay ahead of the game with Tom's real-time analysis and trade recommendations delivered straight to your inbox. Whether you're a seasoned trader or just starting out, Market Insights provides the edge you need to navigate the markets with confidence. Ready to join the ranks of successful traders? Head over to TFNN.com and subscribe to Market Insights today. Don't miss out on this opportunity to supercharge your trading results. Market Insights comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee for all new subscribers, so you have nothing to risk. Don't miss out on this opportunity to revolutionize your trading game. Head over to TFNN.com right now to join the thousands of traders who have already experienced the power of Tom O'Brien's award-winning newsletter, Market Insights, firsthand. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Hi, welcome back. So we looked at the super microcomputer. This is the semis. It's a leg E in the monthly chart, only a leg C in the weekly chart. So let me just go back here because that was a question I got asked. Is NVIDIA longer term? Oh, just I'll type there. I go. NVIDIA longer term. What is the monthly chart? Does it still have higher highs to go? Well, it's only a leg C in the monthly chart, and it should go to a D. Remember, Chapman wave methodology, unless it's way off, and usually it's pretty good, should go to at least a D. At least, that is. It could go higher, but at least a D. And this is a leg C. It hasn't even made a peak C. So let's say all of February, it doesn't make all of March, it doesn't make a new high above 746.11. Then it means that the following month, maybe it does that. And then you have to wait for the next month to get your peak D. So it's still so far very positive. That's NVIDIA. And after what it's just done, is this a big deal? No. So, okay, let me just talk about this. So how do you play NVIDIA for those of you who really are looking at the options? I haven't looked at the options right over the last couple of days. My guess is that if you're thinking of shorting, the premium is so high. If you're thinking of buying, the premium is so high. Probably selling something like that, but what a risk you take. But what if you're correct and you can sell a call and you get that premium over, just even if it's a month's worth of premium? Anyway, that's not what we're doing. I'm looking at this and I'm saying, it's done very well right now. What does the chart say? Well, the chart says the 9-period exponential moving average is very good. Let me just go to this one. You can see it a little bit clearer. So this is NVIDIA, NVDA. Let me get rid of this 120-minute chart. That's already starting to deteriorate technically, but that's not the point. Look, 9 is still over the 14. Yes, it's turning down with the 9-period turning down in the same parallel movement as the black 14-period moving. So it's still green, but until it turns pink, this is a positive. And if you're looking at this one with this one also has the on-balance volume, which gave you a high on this spike to the upside is 746.11. And then on the, it went to 746.11. I didn't realize an exact double top, and yet the technicals are starting to weaken. But how the market responds to the news. So it isn't it isn't the 4:05 this afternoon, and whenever it comes out, I think it's already very quickly after the close. It's what happens after the conference call, and tomorrow, let's say at 10 o'clock tomorrow, half an hour after the opening, that's when you're really going to sense 10:20, 10 to 10:20 tomorrow is whether you get a sense that NVIDIA, that's it for now. It has to digest all these gains. Whatever it says, even if it spikes higher, if it then closes towards the low of the day, it'll have a digestive phase. The only difference will be if it starts to trade in the 760s and doesn't break 740 by Friday. That would be fantastic action. I think it deserves a break, but it doesn't know. The price doesn't know what it's supposed to do. It's just the price. So those are the levels I'll be watching. All right. Meantime, back at the ranch, I just needed to do this here. ARM had this exact round number high at 164.00 at an all-time high. Only a leg A in the monthly chart. That means at some point it should go to higher highs over a period of a year or two, maybe. But the weekly chart is at a leg E. I could give it an alternate count. I'm not. It's a leg E. Everything's extended. It went from 164.00 round number high, all-time high, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, about eight sessions ago, and it traded at 117 round number low yesterday. Today's low is at 100. Wait, did it take it out? Well, wait, where was 117? 117. Oh, that's right. I typed in 117 because that was the low at the time, but then it went down to 115.30 or something like that, and today's low is 160. Isn't that something? 50 points or 48 points. That is quite a spill, right? Big percentage. Now, let's just look at it this way. So it's already done, a big digestive phase. What if the chunk of the digestive phase is done and all it needs now is to test the 94 round number gap up? Is that the round number? Yes, that was the low of the gap up day of the 8th of February. So it means in a way we've kind of done a whole chunk of consolidating right now. What if it starts to trade under 94? That's something else. So that's why I'm saying, let's just go through these one step at a time. Semis lead us up, semis lead us down. Semis at this particular point look ready. In every way I look at it, the semis are ready for some kind of a digestive phase. Only leg C in the monthly, but a leg E, maybe a peak E in the weekly. Could even be an instant restart. So that's what I'm looking at. Okay, done with that. Give you numbers to look at. If the SMHs trade under they're 195. If they close this any day this week under 192, that says we're in a sell signal, and then you'll see if it gets upgraded to a sell mode. If at any point, if it bounces, it can get to 200, and it's at 195. It can get to 202. That means sideways consolidation. That's fantastic action. Those are the parameters. Just make it simple. Now let's go to the question I had here, which was, Basil, I'm looking at to add to ASPN. So ASPN is Aspen, wasn't it something? Yeah, Aspen Aerogels Inc., laser, experimental sensors, thermal insulation, waste management for molten metals. I mean, you read this and you think pesticides, catalysts, I mean, everything. Cosmic dust collection. It sounds like some kind of spatial thing. All right. Anyway, leg C in the monthly chart. Yep. It once hit 65.99, had a little bit of a spill down to a double bottom in the 530 area, and now it's up at 18. Had a rally to 18 and broke a little bit to the downside at 16.56. Based on the rippiness of this stock, I'm going to say in 2024, going out to about July, even maybe August, I can see the 21s as being really important. And it would probably target that if it doesn't in the next, any time in March, if it closes under 10, that stalls everything. But if it's able to hold the 1330 area in the next 2 weeks and make a nominal new high, just has to get to the 18, maybe 30s, 1840s, that pushes it away, so far away from the 200 period moving average in the weekly that 14 area is like a propellant. That's what you don't want to become a magnet again. You want it to be a propellant. So the next pullback mustn't go under, I would say, just on a shorter term basis, 1460 to 1430. Under 1430, it's going to stall. But looking out, the propensity this has to have these powerful, continuous moves to the upside and then gives back a chunk to the downside, but not the whole thing, gives back a third to a half, and then moves to a higher high. Yes, I agree. I like this. I've had it on my list for ages. I missed this move to the upside, and I thought it would just touch the 200-period moving average, and it never did, and then it just took off. But I like it. ASPN is the symbol trading at 1657, down 46 cents. Now, let me just give you about to go to the final break before the final segment, before NVIDIA's announcement later today. It isn't the end-all and be-all. One stock doesn't usually have the capacity to change things because they're already starting to evolve. I mean, you could even look at Hack. Hack was already starting to show a little bit of a deterioration before the announcement.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey. Because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Well, it's just I had a little trouble getting to some of my the questions, but a question came up. ARWR is Arrowhead Pharma Inc. trading at 29.35. ARW is the symbol, up 13 cents. You see, it's pink, but it isn't breaking down. It's just gently coming down. But I had it here. I'll just do this very quickly. So ARWR, I just want you to show you how the 914 is pink. That 200-period moving average of 30.85, it needs to get back so you can start hugging it, because if it pulls away and gets to the 2820 level, it's at 2936. That's going to pull back even further. And then DKNG, which is, I always like to say Duncan, but it's not. It is DraftKings. We are long this from lower down. This is just a very organized peak E, 45.62 high, and now it's just pulling back. The 40 to 39 area should be good support. We'll watch it closely. 41.23, down 9 cents right now. I put this as a leg C in the weekly chart, so it's still acting very well. I'll be back for tomorrow, of course, and stay tuned for Steve Rhodes. It should be great programming here, and of course, looking